स्वागतम् अद्य बुधवासरः दिनाङ्कः 13 षष्ठस्य मासस्य 13 दिनाङ्कः शाकुन्तलं प्रारभ्यते। प्रथमतः मङ्गलाचरणं। रामो राजमणिः सदा विजयते रामं रमेशं भजे रामेणाभिहता निशाचरचमू रामाय तस्मै नमः। रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम्। रामे चित्तले सदा भूत मे भो राम मामुद्धर राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने श्री राम नाम वरानन ओं नम इति। अथ श्री माहेश्वर सूत्राणि अ युण् रुल्रुक् ए ओंग ऐ औच हयवरट् लण् ञमङ ननं जबञ् घडदश् जब गड दश खफ छ छ च छ च सव कपै श श सर हल इति महासूत्राणि. Today is the 13th of June, Wednesday, Budhavasaraha. Shakuntalam Pachyate, and last time we just started that Prathamonkaha, and this is, I think, in the text, even though this book has not marked the shlokas, I think in the text this is the Shashta shloka, sixth, from the 6th shloka to the, so this one is Krishna Saridada Chakshus Tvayi. That one actually is the 6th verse in the first act in the Shakuntalam, and then we are going to read from there onwards, okay? And I think our goes up to this in the book. I think it goes up to number 11. Let me just check so I can tell you. Yes, I think it is going to go up to checking in the book. 12. So this one and this Mayasya Purorvamshe Yukta Rupa Vidam Tava, that number is not 7, it is 12. So this is 12. Yeah, this is 12. And so basically just add 6 to these numbers to get the numbers from the actual shloka in the Shakuntalam. So this is Prathamonkaha, Shashta Shlokataha, from the 6th Dvadasha Shloka Paryantam. And even after that you have some here. Okay. So anyway, so last time we just looked at the introduction here. This is the story where Dushyantaha into Mrugayartham in order to hunt, but then he ends up stumbling on Kanva's ashram, Kanva Rishi, and there he's going to meet Shakuntala. But Shakuntala, of course, is not there in this passage which we are studying now. But that's the story which of course we all know. So we were here. Tatah Pravishati Mruganusari Sashara Chapas. So we did last time. Tataha means whatever was before. Tatah Tadantaram, after that. Pravishati is the Tingantam. Always attach the Tingantam Padam. That is the heart of the sentence. Vakyasya Hridaya Bhutam Tingantam Padam. Pravishati is straightforward. Latlakaraha, we did last time. It's from the Tudadiganaha. So there is no Puganta Lagupata, it has to be stopped. One thing good is that no matter how complicated or how easy the text is, they still have to follow Vyakaranam. So there is no way out of that. That's the good thing about Vyakaranam, is that whether you have Vedantaha, whether you have Natyam, whether you have whatever Shastram it might be, they still have to follow. With Puranam, Itihasaha, doesn't matter, Ramayanam, Bhagavatam, still you have to follow the rules of Vyakaranam. So now, and which we have been studying all this time, so we can fearlessly apply these rules and make sure that, they are, let's see how far they're being followed. So they have to satisfy you, so to speak, now. Because you know Vyakaranam, so they have to satisfy you that what they are writing is, Vyakarana Drishtya Shuddham. It is correct, from the standpoint of grammar. Of course, the subject is whatever it might be, but still grammatically it has to be correct. Like English, you can't write wrong English because you're writing history or something. English has to be correct. So Pravishati, this is the Latlakaraha, it is Tudadiganaha because there is no Puganta Lagupadasya Gunaha. So this is like in Bhagavad Gita chapter number 1, Ratopastha Upavishat, last word of chapter 1, Upavishat. So there's something, Angam is Visha, Upavisha. Of course that's Lang Lakara there. I'm talking about this one in the Gita, very first chapter. I'm sorry, it's not the very last word. It's in the last shloka, not the last word of the chapter. In fact, interestingly, you have Sasharam Chapam there also. In the same, you have Sasharam Chapam and you have Upavishat. Upavishat is not in the last word of the chapter, so it's the last word in the first line of the last shloka of the chapter 1. So here also you have Sashara Chapastaha. So we did this last time is that the king, by means of a chariot, means basically sits on the chariot, along with the charioteer, he enters chasing a deer, Mriganusari, we started this one last time, and holding a bow along with the arrow in his hand. So we did the grammar last time. We derived this Sharena Saha Vartate Sasharaha Chapaha. It's a Bahuvri compound. And then 6-3, just like we have been doing Saputraha Pita, same thing. Sharena Saha Vartate. In Bhagavad Gita again, Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshyamya sheshataha yajñātva neha bhuyo nyātavyam avashishyate. See, always you can also, whatever is in Gita available, you can check with Bhagavad Gita in this chapter 7. I think it is Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshyamya sheshataha savijnanam vijnanena saha vakshyami. So, Vijnanena saha vartate savijnanam jnanam. So same thing here. Sharena saha vartate sasharaha chapaha. It is a bow which is with the arrow. And then by vopasarjanasya, this sahasya sa adeshaha. So as we have recalled many times in the class that 6.3 is a section of the Ashtadhyay. Panini starts with Uttarapade, Aluguttarapade. So Uttarapadam follows, there's some karyam for the Purvapadam. And that is in 6.3, and there Vopasarjanasya. Basically in a Bahuvri compound, because Bahuvri compound, every term has the Upasarjana Sanya. Sarvopasarjano Bahuvrihi. So Va Upasarjanasya and Sahasya Saha, Nivritya of coming down. So Sah takes the Sa Adeshaha. And this sutram is 6.3. All these rules we have studied in the class before. Then we want to see 6.382. All these rules we have studied in the class before. So 6.382 Vopasarjanasya says that Upasarjana Upasarjana sarva vayavakasya samasasya ityartha. So basically this refers to a compound in which every term is Upasarjana sanya, and that's the Bahuvrihi. Bahuvriher avayavasya sahasya sasyadva. So simply speaking, when saha comes in the Bahuvri compound, it becomes sa optionally. So it comes in Gita again, sahayadnya praja srishtva puravacha prajapati. Sahayadnya. In that particular one, the saha has not taken the sa adesha. But in this one, in the jnanam teham savijnanam, it has taken the sa adesha. So it is optional, and in Gita you have both examples. In Gita you have this one, sahayadnyaha, 3rd chapter number 10, dashama shlokaha, and then savijnanam saptamasya dvitiya shlokaha. So we have both of them. So right now we have, but most of the time it does take the sa adesha. It's by far the much more common usage. It's a shorter usage. So sasharas chapaha. And then we made a karmadharya compounds. Bahuvris are adjectives. Because the pradhanya is in the anyapada pradhanyaha. So anyapada pradhanaha bahuvrihi. So pradhanyam is anyasmin pade. It's not in the compound. That means they're adjected to something else which is outside the compound. So sasharaha now becomes a compound for chapaha, and then we do a simple karmadharya compound, visheshanam visheshana brahulam. And then we made a bahuvri compound, sashara chapaha, hastayor yasya saha, is one who has this bow with an arrow in his hands. So sashara chapa hastaha. And now the one thing that we mentioned is that bahuvri compounds, the main sutra of bahuvri compound is, nothing is new in this class. Okay, everything is just revising what we have previously learned. So that's why we don't have to stop at each step. Everything is, if this is sounding new to you, go back and look at your notes. Everything is just revising what we have learned. So anekamanya padarthe, but that requires anekamanya padarthe. It is going to be samadhikarana bahuvrihi. Samadhikaranam, because in the Bahuvri compound, a general term, generally speaking, every term in all the padas have Samadhikaranam. There is Samanadhikaranyam, which means that they refer to the same item, like Mahabahu, like Mahatma, Shuddha Chittaha. All of these words, they all refer to, let's say Mahabahu. So Mahanto Bahu Yassaha. So Mahanto and Bahu are Samadhikaranam. So same thing here when you say, Nila Grivaha. So Nila, so Griva Yassaha. So they all generally refer to the terms in the compound, refer to the same item. But here it is not the case, because what we have here is Sishara Chapaha Hastayor Yas. So this is Saptami Divachanam and this is Pratama Ekvachanam. So Samadhikaranam is not there. Of course the hand is not the bow, obviously, right? I mean the hand is not the bow. The bow is in the hand. This is like Chandrasekharaha, Phala Chandraha, the compound of this. So Chandrasekharaha, Chandraha, Shekhara Yasyasaha. Now how do we justify this compound? And that is by this Nyapakam from 2 to 20, 2 to 3, sorry, 2, 3, no, I'm sorry, excuse me, 2 to 35. 2 to 35, Panini says, Saptami Visheshane Bahuvrihau. Now, why does Panini have to say Saptami? Because if Bahuvri is only Samadhikarana Bahuvrihi, then Samadhikarana Padam, then why do we need Saptami? So this becomes a Nyapakam. The fact that Panini is saying put the Saptami first in the Bahuvri compound means there must be a Vyadhikarana Bahuvrihi. There must be a Vyadhikarana Bahuvrihi, which means that the two padas in the Bahuvri are not referring to the same item. So this becomes a Nyapakam for a Vyadhikarana Bahuvrihi, particularly when one of them is in Saptami. But now one more complication is that this sutram is saying 2 to 35, Saptami should go first, Purnipatha. And we don't have that. We have Sachara Chapa Hastayor Yasyasala Chandrasekharaha, Pinakapanihi, Chakrapanihi, Chakram Panav Yasyasaha. So now how do we justify that? This sutram 2 to 35 has a Vartikam on that, which says that Saptamyaha Purnipate Prapte Gadvadibhya Saptamyantam Param. So sometimes in some special compounds, the Saptamyantam can go Param, Paranipataha. For example, Gadu Kantha, one who has a hump on his neck. So Gadu Kanthe Yasyasaha. So it will be Kanthe Yasyasaha. So it will be like that. So Gadu is a hump. This is where we stopped last time. So we were just looking at this word Gadu. Gadu I think is a hump. Yeah, I think we did it last time. Gadu Kanthe Yasyasaha. So even this this Vartikam also we have done in the class. So here it is. Gadu is a hump on the back. Okay, hump. Now let us continue from there. Let's take the next sentence. Now it says that Rajanam Mrigam Chavalokya. The items in the brackets are basically what's been enacted on the stage. The actions going on the stage are being shown in brackets. Of course, we are doing Vyakaranam. This is not just Shastram, but or Kavyam. But anyway, we have to know some basic things to understand what the conventions are. So this in the brackets is not being spoken. It is just being told you what's happening on the stage. Very straightforward. Rajanam Mrugam Cha Avalokya. Cha Avalokya. Now Rajanam is Dvitiya Ekvachanam, so is Mrugam, Cha is Avyapadam, and Avalokya is the Lyabantam Avyayam. Lyabantam Avyayam means it is what's called a gerund form. Now Rajanam Dvitiya Ekvachanam, if you want to practice, do some homework, you can look at the sutram, which is, let me see, Anuji, Anuji, you there, Anuji?
Yes, it is.
Which sutram for this Rajanam Upada Vriddhi? What do you think? Help us out. Rajanam Upada, Rajan plus
Yes.
Rajanam. Which sutram? This is your Adhikara, right? Upada Dirgha.
Upada Dirgha, yes.
Which sutram it is? Sarvanama
Yes, Sarvanama Sthani Cha Sambuddha.
Cha Sambuddha. Sarvanama Sthani Cha Sambuddha. What number is that? 648 or
648, right?
648, yes, correct. Sarvanama Sthani Cha Sambuddha. Why which sutram does it get Sarvanama Sthana Sanya? The Pratyaya.
Isn't that Sarvanamasthana?
Correct. By which sutram? By which sutram is Sarvanamasthana? By which sutram? She Sarvanamasthana.
Oh, she, okay.
But then Sudhanapumsakasya.
Correct.
Sudhanapumsakasya. So su out, just out. So 143, I think. Sudhanapumsakasya. Sudhanapumsakasya. This one. So su gets, the gets Sarvanamasthana sanya, and then by Sarvanamasthani cha sambuddhau we get, oh yeah, Hema is here also. Okay, yes. Yes, Hemaji.
So I just wanted to say Sudhanapumsakasya.
Very good. Sudhanapumsakasya, correct. That is the Sarvanamasthana sanya. Correct. Thank you. Good. Start on class participation. That's good. So this is Dvitiya Ekvachanam because of, Karmani Dvitiya, very straightforward. Now, Avalokya, this dhatu, is I put some grammar notes over here. This dhatu is lokru in the dhatu patha. Bhasha artha, even though it says bhasha artha, dhatu nam bhava artha sambhavanti. Bhavaha artha sambhavanti. So this has many meanings, even though it says bhasha artha, it's not bhasha artha, it's more like darshana artha. So avalokyam is having gazed, having observed, having looked at intently. So this is a Churadi-ganaha. So of course we know nothing in Churadi-ganaha can be done unless you add the Swarthe Nich, Satyapapasha ityadi. Churadibhya Swarthe Nich, Churadibhya Swarthe Nich. So whenever a dhatu Churadi-gana is to be used, as a general rule, we have to first do the Satyapapasha Rupa Veena Tula ityadi Churadibhya Nich, Churadibhyo Nich. Churadibhyo Nich. The Swarthe is understood. It's not in the so when Pani doesn't give a Arthanidesha, it means Swarthe. It means Swarthe. It just says use Nich without any condition being satisfied. So this means this will be in their own meaning, Swarthe, Nich. So when we take Lok plus Nich and Manubandha Lopaha Chituhalantyam, make Loki. Loki gets Dhatu Sanya Sadadhyanta Dhatavaha. Then first we have to add the Pratyaktva. Because of Samana Kritrikayo Purva Kale. So here what we have in right now is we have this Sutaha. Rajanam Mrugancha Avalokya Vadati. You supply Vadati. She's going to be the next dialogue. Next dialogue is from the Sutaha. So we say Avalokya Bhashate, Avalokya Vadati. So there are two actions. One is of observing, one is of speaking. The observing action is the Pura Kriya, Puravartini Kriya. So that is going to take, that Lok is going to take the Pratyaktva. Samana Kritrikayo Purva Kale, which we have used repeatedly, many times. So when there is a agent doing two actions, then the prior action will take the Tva Pratyaha. And then after that, what happens is that because of Samasanyang Purvek Tvo Lyap, we form a compound with Ava, a Gati Samasa, Kugati Pradayaha. Kugati Pradayaha. We form a Gati Samasaha. And once, so that is 2-18. So Nitya Samasaha. Nitya Samasa means what? Supada Vigraha Vakyam na Sambhavati. You cannot have a Supada Vigraha Vakyam in a Nitya Samasa. It's a special kind of the Purusha compound. Is Kugati Pradayaha. Oh, Nitya Samasas can not only Bahuvris, not only Tat Purushas, but Nitya Samasa simply means Supada Vigraha Vakyam na Sambhavati. You cannot have a Vigraha Vakyam, just with those two padas. We cannot say Ava and then, Loka Yitva, because that Ava Loka is coming a unit, and the Ava is somehow modifying the Dhatu. But we cannot use those individual words in the Vigraha Vakyam. So that's called a Nitya Samasaha. So we form the Kukati Paradeha Gati Samasaha, and then what happens is 7137 we say Samasanyang Purvek Tvo Lyap, Samasanyang Purvek Tvo Lyap. So the Tva takes the Lyap Adeshaha. So Lyap comes in place of Tva. Samase. So in a compound, but Anyang Purve cannot be the negation compound, which is not we have right here. So we make the Lyap Adesha. Lyap means Anubandha Lopaha, Yashapatadite Halantyam Tayo Lopaha, Tasya Lopaha. Then we get Yakar, Ya, not Yakara, but Ya, Yakara Akaraha. And that since it's not a Valadi Pratyaha, it cannot take Idagamaha. Idagama is by Ardhatuka Syed Valadehe. So this Lyap, after Anubandha Lopaha, it's Ya. It's not Valadi. It cannot take Idagamaha. So we do Niraniti. Anidada Ardhatuke Parene Lopasyat. 6451. Anidada Ardhatuke Parene Lopasyat. Niraniti. So that's how we have done many times in the class before. Nothing new. This is very old, but I just put the steps. So we take Loki, add Pratyaktva by 3, 4, 21, compound it with our by Kugati Pradyaha, then make the Yap Adesha in place of Tva, and finally the Nirniti do the Nijlopa, Avalokya. Avalokya means having observed. Okay, now comes his dialogue. What does he say? He says that, He Ayushman, Krishna Sare Dadat Chakshus Tvai Chadhijya Karmuke, Mruganusaranam Sakshat Pashyami Vapinakinam. Krishna Sare Dadat Chakshus Tvai Chadhijya Karmuke, Mruganusaranam Sakshat Pashyami Vapinakinam. Okay. Which is Ayushman. Now, there's certain protocol. There's these conventions. How to address somebody in these plays. In these Natya Shastram, they have these different kinds of ways to address. How each one has to address the other person for different. Depending on your status, you have to address the other person appropriately. So this Ayushman is a way to address. Actually, the Shakuntalam has a nice translation by Monir Williams. In that, I think he gives this one. He says, "O long live one, a respectful mode of addressing kings." So then there is this verse, Rajni Pracheti Bhavanti says, Ayushman Rathinam Suto. So he says, this is, Bhavati Iti Vidishloka. So he quotes this from Natya Shastram. It says when the charioteer addresses the king, a charioteer addresses basically the one who's on the chariot, one who's riding the chariot. He should say Ayushman. So Ayushman is, oh long-lived one. That is the way the charioteer is supposed to address the one who is, I guess, leading the chariot, leading the one who is the master of the chariot. So Ayushman. Ayushman is formed basically. If you take Ayus Pratipadikam, Sakarantam Napusalinga Pratipadikam Ayus. Atishayatam Ayur Asyastiti Ayushman. So Atishayatam Ayuhu Asya Asti Iti Ayushman. So Dirgha Ayushman over it. So even if you just say Ayushman, Ayushmat Pratipadikam, it comes in this meaning of Atishayane. Atishayane means Ayushman is not somebody who just has any life, but it is one who has a long life. Excessive means long, a long life. Atishayitam. So because remember when we did this Sutram 7295, Tadasyasti Yasmin Niti Matupa, this Matupadayaha, they come in this special meaning. Let me say Hanuman. The example we give all the time. Hanuman is not anybody who has a jaw. So that is so it's to say Prashasta Hanuhu. Yes, of course we all know the story behind that. We say Goman. Goman is not somebody who has one cow. One cow doesn't become Goman, So it's just Bhuma. Bhuma is one who has plenty, many cows. He becomes, of course it's all depending on the context, how many cows makes you Goman. Say Shriman, Dhanavan. One who just has, $5 doesn't become Dhanavan. So on and so forth. And if you're going to go back and nothing is new in this class. Everything is revising what we've done before. So I'm not explaining every term in this one. Like we say Samsarge, like, Dandi. So Dandi is one who doesn't have a danda at home. It means someone who carries a danda all the time. So Dandi, like Chatri, one who carries the umbrella all the time. Chatri Upadhyayaha. The teacher who always carries the umbrella with him is a Chatri, Chatrin Pratipadikam. So it is not that he left the umbrella at home and he came to the class. He is not a Chatri Upadhyaya. He carries it all the time. So Atishayane. In this case, Atishayane. So which means that one who has a long life is Ayushman. So now Ayus plus Su plus Matup, Tadasyastyasminiti Matup, and then Anubandha Lopaha, Upadesha Jananasike Talantyam, and then because this entire Samudaya gets the Prabhidika Sanya by Kritita Samasascha, this is Tadita Pratyaha, Tadita starts from 4176, Taditaha. And then we get Supo Dhatu Pradipatikayoho, Supluk, the Su goes away. And now what happens is that the Angam, Ayus, it gets the Bhasanya here. Because normally what do we have? We have these rules, which is, of course, we know, which is Swadeshva Sarvanamasthane Padasanya. And then Yachibham. Yachibham. Now Yachibham does not apply here because this Pratyaya is what? It is Matup. It is Makaradi. It is not a Yakaradi, it's not Ajadi. So we cannot get the Bhasanya by Yachibham. But then comes Tasau Matvarthe. Tasau Matvarthe, if you have a Takarant or Sakarant Pradipatikam followed by Pratyaya which is Matvarthe in the sense of Matup, then what happens is that the Angam also gets the Bhasanya. So Tasau Matvarthe. That is important because if you didn't have that Tasau Matvarthe, so the Angam Ayus gets the Bhasanya. Otherwise, what would have happened? You had Sasajusha Ru would have come here. We could become Ayurman. Become Ayurman, not Ayushman. So that's what happens here is that this Angam, it gets the Bhasanya because of 41419 Tasau Matvarthe. Otherwise, you should ask the question, why not Ayurman? Because of the Sutram Swadishva Sarvanamasthane 1417, the Angam should have got the Bhasanya because Yachibam doesn't apply, but Tasau Matvarthe gives the Angam the Bhasanya. So that means that we cannot apply Sisisho Ruhu because that requires a Padasanya. So then if you just do Adesha Pratyaja Yoho, because this is a Unadi Pratyaha probably which just came, so it becomes Ayushmat. Ayushmat. Okay, now so Ayushmat will decline like Bhagavat, it becomes Ayushman. We won't go through all the rules over here. Basically what happens is that Ayushmat, we get this sutram over here. This Matup. Matup is an Ugit. So what's going to happen is that we're going to get these rules over here, which is the Num Agamaha. Udacham Sarvanamasthane Dhatoho. Udacham Sarvanamasthane, that's Ugit. Matup is an Ugit, is the Num Agamaha. And then also we're going to get Atvasantasya Chadhatoho. The Dirga. So actually first we get the Atvasantasya Chadhatoho, which is 6, 4, I think 15 maybe, 6, 4, 15, 16, Atvasantasya Chadhatoho, 14, sorry, Atvasantasya Chadhatoho, Upada Dirgaha. So it becomes Ayushmat plus Su, and then it becomes Numagamaha 7170. We get that. Now actually technically speaking 7170 should have applied first. If that happens, then Atvasantasya Chadha, this Atu will never have a chance. If you want to practice all these rules, go on the website, look at 6414, and you know, so 7170 applies after 6414 because otherwise that Atu will never get a chance in 6414. Of course, in this case, we don't have Ayushman, we have Ayushman. Ayushman we have. So we have He Ayushman. So that one is only the Numa Agamaha. Dirgha is not taking place because it is says Asambuddha Usau. Atvasantasya Chadhatoho is only Asambuddha Usau. Anuvritti of Asambuddha. Svanamastane Chasambuddha. That is coming down. So because right now we have some Buddhi Pratyaya falling. He Ayushman. He Ayushman. So it doesn't like He Bhagavan. He Ayushman. So Anuvritti of Asambuddha comes down over here. So it is only Numa Agamaha by 7170. Okay, so He Ayushman. Then what does he say? He makes the following statement. So let us try to follow the shloka. I'll take it Tingantam Padam first. His simple sentence is Pashyami. Aham Pashyami. Very simple statement. Aham Pashyami. What do I see? What do I see? Says Pinakinam Pashyami. So Pinakinam. We just did this Bahuri compound in the prior verse. In prior verse, we had this. We had the Sachara Chapa Hastaha. Same thing here. Pinakaha is the Dhanur Visheshaha. It's a special bow. Vishesham, Dhanur Vishesham. It's a special kind of a bow. It's the name of Lord Shiva's bow is Pinaka. So Pinakaha Haste Yasya Saha Pinaka haste yasya saha. So one like Chakrapani. So Pinaka. So Pinakinam. So Pinaka. Actually here, I'm sorry, no, not Pinaka. Excuse me, no. This is not Pinaka Panihi. This is Pinakin. Okay, so Pinakin, then we have the same thing. This is not a Bahuri compound. This is not a compound. Okay, one simple check is that to have a compound, you have to have at least two padas in there. I mean, sorry, we have to have at least a separate pada and something else which is not added. So as a general statement, you have to have more than one pada. But in things like upapada samasas, you may have a pada and you may have something else which is not a pada as yet, but it is still another separate item from the pada. So this pinakin is not a compound. It simply has pinaka with the pratyaha, with the matu pratyaha, ini pratyaha. So ata ini thanau. So this is not a compound. If you had a compound like pinaka paninam, that pinaka panim, I'm sorry, pinaka panim, that would be a bahuri compound. Pinaka pano yasya. But pinakin is not a compound at all. We don't have two padas in that. So Pinakin is simply like Dandin, so we can look at it quickly. So simple sentence, you always try to build a simple sentence first. So take the Tingantam Padam. Try to find a subject object if you can. In this case, Pashyami. Of course, Pashyami you won't derive in the class anymore, that we have done too many times now. So Pashyami, only thing I'll mention is that by 7378, Pa Gra Dma Ityadi, Pa Gra Dma, the Sutram, the Dhatu is Drish takes the Pashyadesha. So this is Shiti Pare, so 7378, so Pashyami. Now, so that can only be Aham Pashyami. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
Is there where Pashyami?
Yes. Pashyami typo. Yes, thank you. I didn't notice that also. Yeah, Pashyami. No. That should be Pashyami. It has to be. Let me double check that. Yes, thank you. Made the correction. I'm looking at it. Dosham no Pashyami. I don't see the dosha. Let me just, it has to be Pashyami. I don't think there's any way out of that. Pashyami. 1 second. Pashyami. Yes, it's Pashyami. Correct. There's a typo there. Pashyami. Yes, Pashyami. I didn't notice that. Correct. Thank you. Aham dosham na Pashyami. I should have seen that error. Okay, so let me put that in my book so I won't make that mistake next time. Okay, Pashyami. Now the Drish takes the Pashyadesha by 7378. There was nothing there. So the simple sentence so far that we have is Aham Pashyami Pinakinam Pashyami Iva. Pinakinam Pashyami Iva. So basically I see, I'm seeing as if I'm seeing large. Give me one sentence. Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay. Pinakinam Iva Pashyami, as if Pinakin. Okay, Pinakin we can simply form it now. Can come here and then Pinakin. Pinako asyasti Pinakin. Derived similar to Dandi. Dandi we have derived before in the class. So Dandi it is here. Dandin. Okay, here it is. I think we can take this one. Okay, Dando asyasi Dandin. So Dandin we take here. So we use Suttam 52115. Ata ini thanau. So by 52115 in the adhikara of Matup. Matup is a default pratyaya, but then there are a number of, it's a very interesting adhikara of Matup. It's well worth to study this one because a lot of words are formed from this adhikara. Like the word Bhagavan itself, Bhagavad Gita, the word Bhagavat itself is formed from this adhikara. So here we have a sutram, it says Ata ini thanau. We are in the youngest, we are in the adhikara of Nya Pradipadikat. So if you have a Adantam Pratipadikam, then following that we can get the affixes ini and tan, sense of Matup. So one who has a danda, it is samsarge, is one who carries the danda all the time. Dando asyasti iti dandi, dandikaha dandavan. Matup also comes, and we can also have ini or tan. Right now let's look at the ini. If you're going to go back and practice, we can go back and practice one. So danda plus su pratya ini. Anubandha lopaha upadeshana nasiket. Samudaya gets Pratipadika sanya by krita is the samasascha. This is a tadita pratyaya we are adding. So Supodhatu Pradivikayoho Supluk and then just Yachibham Angam Gashta Vasanya Yasyeti Cha Yasyeti. I think we have Vain in the class today. Vain? Let me see if Vain is there. Are you there, Vain?
Yes,
Vain, are
sir.
you there? Yes, I
Yes,
know.
yes, I'm here.
Yachibham Yasyeti Cha. This is your combination, right?
Yes.
Vataha Vishayoyam.
Yes.
So Dandagashti Vasanya and then my Yasyeti Cha. So then, of course, once you have, so right now we just have Ditya Ekavachanam, so we can just form it. Then Pinaki, Pin plus Pinakin plus Pinakinam, nothing special. Now, and in Sakshat, you can take an Amvyam. Sakshat means as if I'm seeing himself. I'm seeing Lord Shiva himself. I'm as if seeing Lord Shiva himself. Pinakinam Sakshat Iva Pashyami. Now, there's one adjective to Pinakinam, which is Mruganusaranam. We just did that in the previous class. Which was here, Mruganusaranam. Okay, because in the previous class we derived this one, Mruganusarin. So here it is the same thing over here again, which is we had the Mrugam Anusarati Tachilaha. One who is, at least at that particular time, he's constantly following the deer, Mruganusaranam. This is a story from the Puranas. I'll read you a small section from this. Let's see, Munir William, does he give a story here? Mruganusaranam. He says, Pinakin is Lord Shiva armed with his bow called Pinaka. Okay, Shiva not being invited to Daksha's sacrifice was so indignant that with his wife he suddenly presented himself, confounded the sacrifice and dispersed and mutilated the gods, and chasing Yajna, lord of sacrifice, who fled in the form of a deer, he overtook and decapitated him. So this is the story. The Vayu Purana makes Shiva create a manifestation of himself called Virabhadra. Anyway, so this is Daksha Yajna Vidvamsaha. So this is the destruction of Daksha's Yajna, where Lord Shiva took the form of chased this Yajna Purusha, who took the form of a deer. So fiercely he chased him. There are a couple of different stories, and this is one of the stories. So Supya Jato Dinis Tachilye, but it has to be Tachilye, one who's chasing him all the time. So we put the Sutram is 3278, which we looked at in the last class itself. In the last class we had this in the prior verse, we had the word Mruganusari, so all the same steps over here. We first formed the compound using the Upapadam Ating. I'm sorry, excuse me. I should come over here. Okay, Duram. Okay, one second. Upapadam Ating, and then Tatrapapadam Saptamistham. So this Supi in this sutram has the Upapada so Upapadam is the sup, because Tatrapapadam Saptamistham. This Dhatu Adhikara on Panini starts from 3191, 3192, this section from 3191 to the end of chapter 3. Saptamistham, whatever is indicated by the Saptami, that is the Upapadam. So when any sup is Upapadam means which is close by, then we can use this Pratyayinini in the sense of Tachilye. So here the Mruga is the Upapadam. So Mruga Manusarati Tachilaha, we took Mruga plus Anu plus Ru, same as the last class, add the Pratyayinini, Anubandalopa Chutu, Upadeshanasika. Again the same thing here, Samudaya gets the Pradivadya Sanya where Kritita Samasa, this is the Samasa now. In the previous case we had Tadita Prayogaha, this is the Samasa, but still the same Sutram, Kritita Samasascha. In Supodhatu Pradivadikayoho, so Pluk takes place. And then, of course, we get the Gunadeshaha, Sarvadhatuka, Ardhadhatuka Yoho, Uranraparaha. Then Atopadhayaha, Mruganusarin, and then Mruganusarinam is simply Ditya Ekavachanam. Okay, now that leaves us, so that's what we have in the bottom line here. So I am as if directly seeing, I'm actually seeing Lord Shiva. I'm as if actually seeing Lord Shiva, who is carrying the Pinaka bow in his hand, who's chasing the deer. That's what I'm actually seeing. Okay, now I have an adjective here. Let me see. Can I put Wayne to work over here? Let me see. Yes, sir, Wayne. What's the adjective to aham?
Yes, sir.
What's the adjective to aham? Aham is an adjective in the first line. Which one is it? Krishna Sare is Saptami question. Dadat Chakshu cannot be adjective to him.
No.
Tvai Cha
No.
Adijjakar Mukhe.
Adijjakarmuke.
So it has to be Dadatta. Dadatta. Now Dadat doesn't look like a Pratama Ekvachan, does it?
Right.
It does not look. The reason for that is that in the Rudrapatha, Bibhradagahi, Bibhrat. So what happens is that the Num Agama is stopped by the Sutram Nabjastat Chatuhu. These are these 4 rules in Ashtadhyayi, which are favorite exam questions. They come all the time in exams. And actually, I must admit, I must confess, even I have been mistaken in the classes on this sutram. So anyway, this is Nabjastat Chatuhu. This which stops the Nishrinvan, Jigran, Ashtan, taking Gita, to become Dadan. But if you have the Angam has the Abjasta Sanya, then that Numagama is stopped. If you want to do some homework, look at Nabjastat Chatuhu. Done this in the class many times. In fact, 7178. We can also go on the website, search for Nabs. If you see all these rules, you can go on the website. No, this stops. This one is a Nisheda Sutra. No, Abjastat Shatru. Shatu is the Shashti ekvachan of Shatru, like Pituhu. So there's no Numagama. So this is basically 7178 is stopping 7170 with the Cham Sarvanamasthane Dhatoho. So if you want to go on the website and you can, when I say homework, see, I hope you're following these examples. They are archived for you. You can just come here and you can look at 7178 Nabjastat Chatuhu. So Nabjastat Chatuhu, let's see if I can find a quick one. So this is the Nisheda Sutram for the Buddhacham Sarvanamasthane Dhatu. Because Shatru Pratyaya is Nabjastat Chatuhu. Let's look at this one. Number 2. Nabjastat Chatuhu. So it says that, so here it is. When you have Nabjastat, okay, here it is. Nabjastat Chatuhu. So Vibrat. So we take Vibrat plus Su. And then when we go through, we take Vibrat plus Su, Anubandha Lopaha, then Sakar Lopa Halnyabhyo Dirga Sutisya Bruktam Hal. Then the Shatru follows an Angam, Bibhru, which has the Abhyasta Sanya, by Ubhe Abhyastam, 615. And 7178 stops the 7170, we get Bibrat, and then of course the 2 form Bibrat. So 7178, if you want to practice, if you want to need some practice, you can go on the website, and this particular post has in December of 2011 we had this question. It's come many times. This is not the only time. We had this quite a few times. So the same thing I put in document here. We have document Bibrat, Dadat in this case. Dadat is, okay. What we have is this one. Dadat, you take the dhatu da, dudai dani, to give, add the pratyaya lat, of course by vartamane lat. In dudai, of course, the do gets the itsanya by adirni to davaha. And this entire do samudaya gets the itsanya, and halantyam, everything takes lopaha, tasya lopaha. Instead of bringing tiptajji, we form participle form by Latashatrishana Chava Pratama Samadhi Karane. So, but that also we have remarked many times is that 3 to 124 has anuvritti of lat from Vartamani lat Karane. So what that Vartamani, when the lat is anuvritti is coming down. So lat iti Vartamani lat iti Vartamani. Anuvritti of lat comes down to the next shloka. It's available, but still Panini says, so the anuvritti of lat from Vartamani lat is coming to the next shloka, but still in the next sutram, still Panini says lataha. So that is the, means that Kvachit Pratama Samadhi Karane. Because what we have right now, Dadat. Dadat is Pratama Ekavachanam. But this sutram specifically says Pratama, Apratama Samadhi Karane. Latashatrishana Chau, Apratama Samadhi Karane. Now, how can you Pratama Samadhi Karane then? Because this says that because instead of let coming down, point like what we have right now. And the favorite shloka in Gita is this shloka Pashan Shunvan Spashan Jigadan Mission Napi. So this is the shloka in Gita which has all of these in Prathama Ekvachanam Shatrupatayanta Prajapadikani. So now we have to remember this Vyakhyanam. Latiti Vartamane. Punan Latiti Vartamane. That means Anuvritti of letting down. Punar Lat Granam. Kvachit Prathama Samadhikaraneti. Okay. Again, nothing new. Done in the class many times before. So here we have Shatrapateha, and then we get the Kartari Shap, but this is the Jyotyadi Ganaha, Jyotyadi Bhyashluh. So the Shlu elision takes place, Pratyaslukshlute, Upadeshanasika Lopaha. Then comes Shlau. Shlau. We started a class, we've been studying the Sutram Sanyango, right? We just had Changi Shlau Sutram. And there, which means that Anuvritti of Anubhyasasya, and then Eka Chodve Patamasya, all this Adhikara is coming down. Basically reduplication. So we get da, da, at, and then Rasvaha. Da, da, at, and then this at, Sanya of Sarvadhatukam, I think it's Sarvadhatukam, Shatri is a Shit Prateha, then Sarvadhatukam Apit becomes Nitvat, and then because this Angam, this has Abhyasta Sanya, Kubhe Abhyastam, and then we get the Shnabhyastayorataha. We get Akara Lopaha. If you practice these rules, go on the website, please, 64112, Shnabhyastayorataha. We've done this many times because Abhyastamangam, ending in Akaraha, following Pratyaha is a Ajadi, Nit Pratyaha. Because you can also go to Sutra Suchi, which is here 64112. Shnabhyastayorataha. Shnabhyastayorataha. So what we have here is Shnabhyastayorataha. Okay. Shnabhyastayorataha. Let's see. It should be there. Oh, I wonder why it's not coming here. Maybe it's coming in the first one. Let me check. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. Okay. And so Anayor Ataha Lopaha Kiniti Sarvadhatuke. Doesn't have to be Ajadi. And for by Sadhaka Pratyam, which is Kit or Nit, the Akara of Shna Pratyaha, or of an Abhyastam takes Lopaha. Shnabhyasta or Ataha. So then we get the At becomes the Dat. Then we add Su, and we get Anubandha Lopaha and Hanyabhyo iti Sakar Lopaha. But the important thing is that 7178 Nabhyasta Chatu stops in Umagamaha. So then what we have now is that we have Krishna Sare. Krishna Saraha. Krishna Saraha is basically dark spotted. Dark spotted. So it's an antelope. Antelope. So the Vigraha Vakyam for that, the compound for that is Krishnaschaso Sarascha Shabalaha. Variegated, spotted. So he's dark spotted. Krishna Saraha. Sutrams 2169. Varno Varnena. Varno Varnena. You can compound a color, a word which signifies a color with another word. So 2169. Varno Varnena. So it's like, reddish black, right? English, red black. So like, blue green. So it's it means bluish green, kind of. So blue mixed with green mixed with blue. Krishna Sara, so basically he is spotted and he's black spotted. So Varno Varnen is one way to do it, 2169. Again, if you can go back and look at your notes, you've done all these in the class. Varno, this is in the section, look at this number, 2169. This is a section of Kramadharya compounds because this section starts from 2149. 2149, 2149, 2149. Where Pani starts this Purvakalaika Sarvajarat Purana Navakevalaha Samanadhikaranena. And there comes the Sutram Varno Varnena. Varno Varnena. Varno Varnena. Varno Var 2169. Or we can make it a different way. We can make it as Krishnena Saraha. On account of this black dots he spotted. Due to that. So that is Tritiya Tatkrita Arthena Gunavachanena. This can become Tritiya compound. Tritiya compound. So his spottiness is caused by this, 2, 130. See, all these rules also we have done in this class also we have done these rules, which is here it is Titiya. So it says that Titiyantam Titiyantartha gunavachanena artha shabdena cha sahavasamasya tatprasamasaha. So Shankulya Khandaha. So this is a piece which has been cut by on account of this, by this, made by that. This is made into a piece by that. So says Kirina Kanaha. He is squint on account of this being caused by this, due to this. So this is a property which is imparted by that. So the deer spottiness is imparted by the black color. So anyway, a couple of ways to do it. Basically, he's this is a Tatpurusha compound. It means an antelope. If you look at the vocabulary, I've taken the vocabulary and put it all over here. If you look at the vocabulary, all give antelope. So I've taken the vocabulary and to make it easy for us, I put in a document here so you can see it here. So he's an antelope. So now what do we have so far now is that we have that place Dadat Chakshuhu is placing my eye. Means basically looking at. This is idiomatic thing. So putting my eye, that is to giving my eye really. Giving my eye on you, Twai. So giving my eye means looking at, paying attention to, or putting my vision on you. So Chakshu can be my vision. So putting my vision on you and on the antelope. Now you has an adjective here. Adijjakar mukhe. Let's look at that compound. Adijjakar mukhe. And this one says that, let's try. Adhyaropita jya yat. So okay. Now just like we had in the prior verse, we had this Sashara Chapa Hastaha. The Sashara was qualifying Chapa. Right? So Adhijya is going to qualify the Karmaka. Karmaka again is a bow. It's a bow which has been strung, which has been loaded. So Adhijya. So it is a bow to which the string has been strung basically. The string has been tied to it. Adhijya Karmake. Again, this bow used to be loosened or tied with the string. Once you tie with the string, it means you're ready to shoot. Like a loaded bow. So Adhijya Karmake. So now this is going to be a Bahuri compound finally qualifying Tvai. So looking at you who has his bow strung, as well as there is a cha. So looking at the deer, the spotted deer, black spotted deer, and looking at you who has his bow strung, I am as if directly seeing Lord Shiva, who has a Pinaka bow in his hand and who's chasing the deer. So basically he's praising the king, like the king is looking like Lord Shiva himself, chasing the Yajna Rupa Mrugam. Okay, just like he's chasing it. So okay, Adhijya Karmaka. Let's look at the this is what the character says to the king. Now let us look at the compound here. Adhyaropita jyayat. So yasya tad adhijyam karmakam. So it is that to which, or the string has been tied or has been mounted. So that means the string has been mounted, or it is the one whose bowstring has been mounted. So this bowstring is given in the vocabulary. So what kind of compound is this? This is like the compound vidhava, which we mention all the time in the class. Vigataha, dhavaha, yasyaha sa. So one whose husband has passed away. So Adhi is standing for Adhyaropita, means mounted. So Adhyaropita. So this you make the Aropaha of Aropaha. You put the word Aropaha on that. So Adhyaropita. Adhyaropita jyayat athva yasya. So that to which the bowstring has been kind of mounted or raised on top of it, or whose bowstring. Either way you can take it. But bottom line is we have to use this Vartikam, Sutram 2.2.24, Anekam Padate, Pradibhyo Dhatu Jasya, the participle. Vacho va Chotra Pada Lopaha. This Aropita is now like Vidhava, Vigataha. So that gata is, that gata becomes gata. It is gone away. So same thing here. Purapadantar gatasya uttarapadasya dhatujasya lopo vachya ityartha. So purapadantar gatasya. The purva adhyaropita. Uttarapadasya, which is the aropita. Dhatujasya, it is participle. Born from a dhatu. Takes lopaha. Then we get, or we can take a different way. So this is the Bahuvri compound from that way. And then otherwise we can, so we form the, so far we only form karmukam. So we only form so far adhijyam karmukam is what we formed so far. That's all we have formed. Adhijyam itself is a Bahuvri compound, qualifying karmukam. Athva adhirudham jam. We can make it now also as a pradisamasaha. Adhirudham jam. So it is a karmukam. What's the difference between these two? We also discussed this in the class previously many times. Is that here Bahuvri compound has to have one thing always. It is the pradhanyam has to be in the anyapade. Bahuvri compound, in this case we are forming the compound adhyaropitam, qualifying karmukam. So it's a Bahuvri compound. Neither the adhi nor the ja can directly qualify karmukam. Then only can be Bahuvri compound. Of course, adhi is standing for adhyaropita. Adhyaropita is qualifying ja, not the karmukam. So Bahuvri, remember it's one thing, Bahuvri compound. There cannot be anything in the compound itself which directly qualifies the pradhana padam. Pradhana padam is karmukam. Adhyaropita does not qualify karmukam. It qualifies ja. So this is a Bahuvri compound. Of course we need the vartikam for that, that is fine. Same thing with vidhava. Vigataha dhavaha yasyaha sa. So one whose husband has departed. That depart is qualifying the husband, not the lady. So that's the Bahuvri compound. But when you make it like this, adhirudam jam, that which has no, jam is dvitiyantam, which is adhirudam means adhiroha, that which has like climbed on the string. So which has, so now this adhirudham is directly qualifying the karmukam. So this is a tatpurusha compound, because adhirudham in the compound is directly qualifying karmukam. This is the fundamental difference. The Bahuvri compound and is what's called the Pradi compound, which is a subset of the Tatpurusha compounds. So Atyadayaha Krantadhyarthe Dvitiyaya. If you want to practice this again, these are all these things which you have done in the class before. This was discussed in great detail. So let us see. So for example, when we're looking at this one, Atimalaha, right? Atikranta malam, Atikranta malam, one who is gone beyond the mala in terms of his looks or whatever it might be, fragrance. So same thing here. So so adhirudham jam. So adhiruh means a thing which is to kind of, ruh is to like to grow, to climb. So adhiruh is to ascend. When which is ascended the string. But ascended is directly qualifying karmukam now, so that will be a tatpurusha compound. So adhiruh is adhirudham, is to ascend, to mount, is to ascend, to mount, to find access, to sit on, to lie on, to ride, engage, contemplation, to string, okay, to string also. Adhirohati gandivam, okay, to string. So that's what it is basically mounted or strung. So bow has mounted on the string. So this is going to be now a karmukam. Okay. So a tatpurusha. So there are two ways to form this. We can form a Bahuvri compound by taking the vartikam pradibhyo jhatu jasya vachyo vachottarpadalopaha adhyaropita jya. Now the jya has to become jam. That is these two rules, which is the okay. Adhijyam karmukam. Now I should have put these two rows over here. Adhijyam karmukam. So firstly we need adhyaropita. So with the Vartikam removes the Aropita, so only Adi is left, and Ja becomes Ja by goes through Upasajanasya. Goes through Upasajanasya. If you have a Pradipadikam ending in a term which is the Upasajana Sanya, the Bahuvari compound, every term is Upasajana Sanya, because of it is the Pradhanyam is in Anyapadam, which we just talked about in the class today many times. So therefore, Sarvopasajano Bahuvrihi. And if so the ending of a Pradipadikam, if it ends in a term which is the Upasajana Sanya, then it takes the Rasvadesha, goes to Upasajanasya. So if it's, assume one more thing, is that it is also should be ending a Sripatyaya or the word go. So this is 1-248 sutram. Again, if you want to practice, please go back, see. I'm not repeating like every single thing in the class again. So 1-248 is goes to Upasajanasya. Here it is the see. Upasajanam yo go shabdaha. Si pratyantam cha. Tadantasya pratipadikasya rasvasyat. Rasvadesha takes place in place of a paradhikadikvakam. Of course, anontasya, only the ending will take rasvadesha. If it ends in the go shabda, which we don't have, or sripatyant shabda, the ja is ending in the sripatya top. As long as that has the upasajana sanya, Bhuvari compound, every term is upasajana sanya. So we use that, goes to upasajanasya. Okay, where were we now? Rasvadesha. Okay, here it is there. And the same thing, the same sutram applies when we do the Tatpurusha compound. There also, it has the Upasajana Sanya. In fact, there is Upasajana Sanya because of that, let us see, Chapurunipate. Okay, that also has Upasajana Sanya. This is the thing, I did not put that. Chapurunipate. Okay, there is this sutram which says that Eka Vibhaktischa Purnipate. You can go back and look at your notes, please. That this one is that in the Vigraha Vakyam, regardless of the other Padam taking different Vibhaktis, when a certain Padam stays the same Vibhakti, Niyata Vibhakti, then it also gets Upasajana Sanya, but that Upasajana Sanya cannot be used for the Purnipata. It can be used for the Rasvadesha. It cannot be used for Purnipata. If you want to go back and revise, look at this Sutram 1-244. Eka Vibhakti cha Purnipate. So here it is, it's in the Ashtadhyayi, right after this one. So 1-244, I think this is 1-244. Eka Vibhakti cha Purnipate. 1-244 is the one over here. Says that. So Prathama Nidishtam Samasa Upasajanam. Kisi Kugati Pradeha. Right? So in that Sutram, Prathama Nidishtam is the Pradi. Okay, but so that will not help us. But it says Eka Vibhakti cha Purnipate is in the Vigraha Vakyam, which does not change its Vibhakti. When the other one changes Vibhakti, then that also gets the Upasanya, but that cannot be used for Purnipata. It can be used for this Rasvadesha. It cannot be used for this Purnipata by the Sutram, this 2 Upasajanam Puram. We cannot use it for this one. So basically, if you get Upasajana Sanya by 1-244, Eka Vibhakti cha Purnipata, it cannot be used for 2-230. It can be used for 1-248, for 1-248 for the Rasvadesha. So that's what we have over here. So now what will happen is here is that, okay, let's go to our example here. Ticha Purnipata. This document is getting so long, it takes time to navigate. Okay. Let's see if we can okay. Now okay, we were here. We were Adhirudham Jam. If you change the vibhakti of this one, so Adhirudhena Jam, Adhirudhasya Jam. Whatever you do to this one will not change the vibhakti. You stay Jam only. So that is why this Ja gets the Upasajana Sanya by 1244. So 1244. Rasvadesha. So Ja gets the Upasajana Sanya 1244. Rasvadesh I'll put here by 1244 and then by that 1244 and then so let me put this one also here 1244 Ekavibhaktischa Purnipate and then we get Gostya Upasajanasya. Okay, let me put that over here. 1244 Ekavibhaktischa Purnipate. Okay, put it over here. Okay, so that finally gives us these two ways when we can make a Pradi Samasa, Ugati Pradeha, or we can make a Bhauri Samasa. In either case, we'll get the Rasvadesha by the Gosthi Upasajanasya, Rasvadesha. So in one case, we get the Upasajana by 1243 in the case of Bahuvrihi, because of Prathamanadishtam Samasa Upasajanam. Because in Bahuvri Samasa, we use Anekamanya Padarthe, that Anekam Prathamanadishtam. Or in the case of Pradi Samasa, we get the Upasajana by 1244, Ekavibhakti Cha Purnipate. In either case, by 1248, we get the Rasvadesha, Gosthi Upasajanasya. And so this only is forming the Adhijyam Karmakam. And now what we make it, we make a Bahuri compound. So this itself is Adhijyam is a Bahuri compound. Then we combine that, of course Bahuri compound is an adjective, and make a Bahuri compound with Karmakam. Adhijyam Karmakam Yasya Saha. So one whose bow has been strung. Adhijyam Karmakam Yasya Saha. This is simple, straightforward Bahuri compound, Anekamanya Padarthe. The word Karmakam itself is a special sutram of Panini. So Panini has a special sutram 51103. Karmane Prabhavati Karmakam. This is the affix ukai which Panini prescribes. Tadita pratyaya. Look at the number 51103. We know that Taditaha goes from 4176 Taditaha to end of chapter 5. So it says that Karmane Prabhavati ukai. So Karman plus me, I think which I guess gets the job done. It's capable of doing the job. So this is a bow. It's bow. So 51103 is the sutram. We've done this in the class before. This is only a copy paste. Everything is copy paste in this class. I'm just copying pasting from all the previous classes. So Karman plus Ukai, because same thing here, because this entire Samudaya gets the Pradipika Sanya Krita, this is Samasascha, this Ukai Tadisa Pratyaha. So then we do the Supluk by Supodhatu Pradipika Yoho. Then we get this Ukai as this Chavarga Panchama Nyakara as an It. So therefore we get the Adi Vriddhi, Taditeshvacham Adehe, get Karman plus Uka, Taditeshvacham Adehe, and then we get the Angam gets the Bhasanya by Yachivam, and then Nastadhite, when we have a Angam which has the Bhasanya ending in Nakaraha, followed by Pratyaya which has the Tadita Sanya, then we get the T lopaha, and then we get Achontyadi T. Achonti, all is Sanya Sutrani also we cannot forget. Achontyadi T, 1164 Achontyadi T. So what happened is that first we got the Bhasanya by Yachivam, because that Uka is a Ajadi Pratyaya, and then we used 6444, which is here Nastadite, 6444, Nastadite, 64144, excuse me, 64144, Nastadite. Another T of Tehe is coming from here. So T Lopa is going to take place. And then we use the, of course, T by Achontyadi T, 1164. So as we got T Lopaha, we get Karmuka. We can look at, so this is Sutram 51103. Karmane Prabhavati 51103. 51103. If you look at it quickly, 51103. We can see it. 51103. Karmane Prabhavati. Taditas are difficult because there are a lot of sutras we have to get used to, but you can slowly try to get a hang of it. Karman Shabda Ukai Pratyabhavati Tasme Prabhavati says karmukam dhanushi anyatuna bhavati anabhidhanat. So it's basically, this is really a special word only for a bow. It's not used anywhere else, even though it means, prabhavati. It is, one which is kind of takes care of the job. Is that it is karmani prabhavati. If you want to look at the English meaning of that, karmani prabhavati, it's a special sutram only to get the word karmukam, which of course karmukam only, but only in the sense of bow only, not anything else. Especially it's the rudi shabda. It takes a special meaning of bow. It is not anything else which gets the job done. So it is in the sense of is capable of that, capable of doing the job. That is the sutra. Okay, alrighty. So now, finally, after all this vyakaranam, we have this shloka is the Mruganusari we have done. Okay, so what we have, let me do a translation over here. The translation says that this is a pretty good, Bonner Williams, a good translation, says that the translation says, okay, O long-lived one, that is the Ayushman. And then he says, casting my eye, Dadat Chakshuhu, Chakshu is the eye, casting my eye, Dadat Chakshuhu. Dadat is Pratama, a question is qualifying Aham. We just talked about that. On the black antelope, Krishna Sare, the black spotted deer, antelope. And on thee, and is cha, thee is twai. With thy strung bow is the adijya karmuke, adijyam karmukam yasya saha, adhyaropita ja yasya tat karmukam, adijyam. So there are two Bahuviri compounds. Adijyam is a Bahuviri compound, and that enters into a Bahuviri compound with karmukam. Okay. So, with thy strung bow, I behold, pashyami, I behold, as it were, Iva Pashyami Iva. Lord Shiva is this Pinakinam. Pinakam Masyastiti Pinakinam. Atainitanau. Visibly present Sakshat. Chasing the deer is the Mruganusaranam. This is Adijya, having the string up at the end of the chase of the bow should be Shitilaja. These are these two terms, Adijya and Shitilaja. Shitilaja means you relax the string. Adijya means you string the bow. Anyway, so that's the translation. Okay, let's move on. So then the Raja now says, Suta, hey Suta, straightforward. Duram amuna sarangena vayam akrishtaha. Simple sentence, hey Suta, Duram amuna sarangena vayam akrishtaha. So this is basically the akrishtaha is possessing the sense of a tingantapadam. It's not a tingantapadam, it's a participle, but it functions like a verb. So we have been dragged, we have been drawn. Vayam akrishtaha. Of course, akrishtaha is pratama bahuvachanam. Okay, even though there are two of them, vayam is general we. So we have been dragged. Krish, we have been drawn or dragged. We have been drawn away. Akrishtaha. Krish is to attract. So, duram, we have been drawn far away. Amuna sarangena, by this deer we have been dragged far away. We have been taken away. We have been drawn far. So, very simple sentence. Duram dvitya ekvachanam and akrishtaha. Pratama ekvachanam, pratama bahuvachanam, vayam also pratama bahuvachanam, padavitikam asmat. Sarangena of kutya ekvachanam amuna. Amuna, others pratipadikam, these two rules. If you want to go on the website and practice, please, you can go on the website and practice these two rules. I put in document here. Amuna. Amuna is a special rule for it. Is the first you use this adas, first the pratyaya is ta, adas plus ta. Then this what happens is that you use the usual chadadina maha ato gune becomes ada plus ta, and then we use adaso ser dadu do maha. So then we get amu plus ta, and then this namune is used. Namune. So this mu adesha has to become siddha in the eyes of this sutram, which is the Angonastriya. Anyway, if you want to practice on the website, look at the sutram 823 on the website. Namune. You will find all the good thing on the website. You will find all these steps here. Let's see if we can find quickly for you here. Namune. It's basically what happens is that this mu is done in Tripadi section. It would have been asiddha in the eyes of sutram Angonastriyam. Namune. Let me try this. I think we should have a post called Amuna. Let's look at this. I'm not sure. I know we have this. I'm just looking at the best way to find it first. Amuna. Let's see if we can find it. But we want the Angonastriyam to apply. Angonastriyam is the last rule. Is the last rule in this section. Let us look. Amuna. And here it is. The whole thing is right here. Amuna. That's the good thing about the website now is you can see all the steps are here. Adas plus ta. Tadadina maha vibhaktau. So and then because tadadina maha, it comes as what is the tadadi class? They get the akara desha, of course alontyasya. And then this anuvritti is coming from ashtana vibhaktau. So this is 7-1. Tadadina is what, 102? Yeah, 72102. 72102. Tadadinama. Anuvritti of this coming from vibhaktau. So Tadadinama, of course, okay. Anyway, we won't go through all the steps. Basically, apply Tadadinama, do ato gune. Then adaso ser dadu do maha. Substitution of the ukara or ukara. In the place of the letter following the dakara of others, the dakara becomes a makaraha. So we get amu. Okay. And then by namune, when the na adesha to be done by Angonastriyam is to be done or has been done, the mu adesha is not a siddha. So basically this stops the purvatra siddham. And then we do the Angonastriya. Then he gets the Gisanya Shesho Gyasti and Angonastriya. Anyway, you have all these steps over here given on April 4, 2011 post. So Amuna. Amuna means by this year, others. See, there is 4 Pratipadikam, right? Which is Etad. So Etad, Idam, Adas, and Tatta. They all mean this or that, So Etad is the closest one. Idam is a little bit far away. Adas is far away. You can still see it. And a good example is Asau Aditya Brahma. So Asau Adityaha. So the sun is far away, but you can still see it. You can still point to it. But Tat is you cannot see it. So Aparoksham. So Paroksham is that you cannot see it. It is not in your vision. So this others means that deer. It really means that you can point to that deer. So we have been drawn far away by that deer. Okay, so you should say that, I guess. There's no sarangena. This is the last thing in this verse. Is sarangena. Saram angam yasya saha. So saram is same thing, Krishna saraha. So one whose body is spotted, variegated, is saranga. Now how come we didn't get akasam dirgha here? Means sara and anga should be sarangam, isn't it? He becomes saranga. Because there is this vartikam under the engi pararupam. It says shakandvadishu pararupam vachyam taccha tehe. T bhagaha takes between the T bhagaha and the following, it takes the pararupam ekadeshaha. Pararupam ekadesha, like the word manishaha. Manas plus isha becomes manishaha. Becomes the manas plus isha between the isha. Manas plus isha becomes manisha. So the as and e, they become a pararupam ekadesha becomes manisha. So like kulata. So kuleshu atati iti kulata. So it's a woman which is of not good character, which roams through different families. So kulata. So it doesn't become kulata, it becomes kulata. So same thing here. This is this Vartikam. If you want to go back and look at this Vartikam under this Engi Pararupam, where these certain words like Martandaha become Martanda becomes Martanda. These are the specific words where special words. So instead of getting it takes the Pararupam as the Eka, the T Bhagaha, and the following take the Pararupam as Ekadesha. So that becomes, so it becomes Sarangam, it becomes Sarangam. Shakandvadishu Pararupam Vachyam under the 6194. Shakandvadishu Pararupam Vachyam. So this is, so when you suspect that, you know, this Sandhi operation is not taken, just taken a Pararupam, you can try to see if that might be in this Shakandvadi Ganaha. We can read you this maybe Shakandvadishu Pararupam Vachyam. Let's see if I can under Engi Pararupam. Let me get you the English meaning. Shakandvadishu. Pararupam Vachyam. Supya Shakandvadishu. I'm trying to read you a good English meaning of this. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me see what this one gives. Shakandvadishu Pararupam Vachyam. This Shakandvadi is a Gana where this exceptional Pararupam takes place. Shakandvadishu Pararupam Vachyam. Okay, the Pararupam substitution takes place in the case of word as Shakandho. Okay, okay, so that's basically that's as simple as that. Okay, so we got Sarangam. So Saranga is Akriti Ganaha. So this there's no like limited set of word which is a Shakandvadi Ganaha. So Akritya Sarupena Karya Darshanena Ganyate Parichiyate Akriti Ganaha. Means it's an expandable Gana. Only from the form that we see in the language, we have to understand that this must be the Shakandvadi Gana to give us this form. It cannot be so. The Gana which is put together, not based on a limited number of words, but based on the form seen in the language. Okay, now let's come to the next verse now, which is interesting verse also. Next verse says, okay, Ayam punar idanim api, Ayam sarangaha, punaha, again, idanim api, even now again, this means this deer. Now comes the verse. Griva bhanga viramam muhur anupatati sandane baddha drishtihi paschardena pravishtaha sharapatana bhayad bhuyasa purvakayam darbhair ardhavalidaihi shrama vivritta mukha bhramshibhihi kirna vartma pashyodagra pratatvad vyati bahutaram stokam urvyam prayati. Okay, one more time. Griva bhanga viramam muhuranupatati sandane baddha drishtihi paschardhena pravishtaha sharapatana bhayad bhuyasa purvakayam darbhair ardhavalidaihi shrama vivritta mukha bhramshibhe kirna vartma shrama vivritta mukha bhramshibhe kirna vartma pashodagra pratatvad vyati bhutaram stokamurvyam prayati. See, can I put Vain to work? Is he there? Are you there, Vain?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
You want to put the Cheda of this one?
Wow, that sounds pretty difficult. Let's see. Ayam.
Yeah, Ayam, yeah, okay.
Punaha.
Idanim, is at this time. Api, okay.
Griva abhangabhi.
No, Griva is a feminine noun.
Oh, Griva bhanga. Bhanga abhiramam.
Bhanga like bending. Griva bhanga abhiramam.
Oh, Griva is the neck, right?
Okay.
Yeah, abhiramam.
Okay.
Anupatati. Muhuhu anupatati.
Correct.
Syandane.
Shandane.
Baddha drishtihi.
It's a compound. Okay.
Paschardhana.
Paschardhena. This is a special word. Paschis. Purvardhena. It's a Paschardhena. No. This is actually this one is a special word. Paschardha. There is a vartikam on that. Yep. Aparaha becomes paschadesha. So paschardha. So there is a vartikam which says that aparasya ardhe pascha bhava. So pascha comes in adesha in place of apara. Okay, we'll come to that, but okay, let's do this. So paschardhena.
Pravishtaha.
Sharapatana
bhayat.
This is a Purusha compound.
Bhuyasa.
Purvakayam.
Yam. Darbaihi. Ardhavalidhaihi. Shrama Vivrutta Mukha Bramshibhi.
So this is compound.
Kirna Vartma Pashudagra.
No, Pashya. Udagra Plutatvat.
Okay.
So Pashya Udagra Plutatvat.
Udagra, okay. Vyati Bahutaram Stokam Urvyam. Urvi
is Prithivya.
Oh, okay. Right.
Prayati. Right. Prayati. Okay. So that is the Padacheda. So one more time. It is Griva Bhanga Viramam Muhoho Anupatati Shandane Baddha Drishtihi Paschardhena Pravishtaha Sharapatana Bhayat Bhuyasa Purvakayam Darbhaihi Ardhavalidhaihi Shrama Vivruta Mukha Bramshibhi Kirna Vartma Pashya is the Madhya Purusha low take vachanam. Udagra Plutatvat Vyati Bahutaram Stokam Urvyam Prayati. Okay. Now Tingantam Padam is we have two of them. We have Pashya and Prayati. Okay. Now this Pashya can be taken as, look. Pashya, of course, is Madhya Purusha Ekvachanam. We already discussed today that this Drish takes Pashya Desha by 7378 Pagradma Ityadina. Pashya Desha Shritipare, and then we get the Shap, etc. And then we get Atohehe, the he. First we get Serya Picha. So the Sip takes the he Adesha and Lord Serya Picha. And that is going to be here, Serya Picha. So these rules we won't repeat again, run them many times. Serya Picha. It's going to come over here. And then we get Atohehe, 64105 Atohehe. So these are all just like we say Bhava, Patha, same thing, 64105 Atohehe. Here it looks, yeah. So if we have the he, which follows the Angam ending in Akara, it takes a look. Pratis looks to lupa. Entire he is gone. So Pashya. This is Madhya Purusha. Ekvachanam Madhya Purusha means the karta can only be Yushmad Pradipadikam. So Tvam Pashya. So Ekvachanam, it cannot be anything else. So Tvam Pashya. So look. Basically you look. So this look is qualifying this. Everything is kind of like inside the look. Look at what is that? Ayam Sarangaha Mrigaha Prayati. So always start with a simple building block, Is that look, even now, this deer is going, he's proceeding. Now how is he proceeding? He is proceeding. There are a number of adjectives for the deer, which you're going to see now, okay? Now we can start from down here. Stokam means alpam. Stoka is alpam, means little. Urvyam stokam. Urvyam is Dvisaptami Ekvachanam of Urvi. Uru means wide. Urvi is that which is feminine of wide, which is means something, some feminine thing which is very large or wide. In this case, it means Prithvi, basically. Urvi is Prithvi. So Urvyam Stokam. He is proceeding only a little on the ground. But Bahutaram Vyati. Vyat is the sky, Akashe. So he is galloping, he is moving. He is moving primarily, mostly in the sky, only little on the ground. So look, this deer is going, but he is going mostly in the sky, mostly in the air, and only touching the ground only slightly. Stokam Urvya, only sometimes. And Udagra Plutatva, Udagra, Udgatam, Agram Yasya. So which is raised. Udagra means basically high or tall. Pluta is like his jumps. His jumps are so high. Udagra Pluta, we'll do all the grammar in a second. Udagra Plutatvam is the property of that. So Udagra Pluta means a high jump. Tall, so high jump. And Udagra Plutatvam means thatness, on account of high jumpingness. So because his jumps are so high that he is going primarily mostly in the air and only little on the ground. Okay, now so that's this sentence over here. So look at this deer now. And now he has some adjectives. So Kirana Vartman Pratipadikam. It comes in Gita. Mamavartvan Vartante Manushya Partha Sarvashaha. Chapter 3 and chapter 4 of the Gita. So Vartman is Napusakalinga Pratipadikam. Like in Gita, Mamavartvan Vartante. But here has become Pullinga Rupam. It's become like Rajan Vartma. So this must be a Bahuvri compound. So Kirnam Vartma Yenasaha. One who has scattered the road, scattered the path. With what? So this is qualifying the deer. So Ayam Krishnasaraha Mrigaha. So he is or Saranga in this case. So this spotted deer who is scattering, crew is to scatter, who has scattered the path with what? Darbhaihi, with this grass. He scattered the path with grass. And ardhavalidhaihi, lich is to lick. Our lead is kind of I guess to chew. So lead is a past participle. That means half-chewn grass. So he has scattered the path with grass which has been half chewn by him. He's chewed it half. So half-chewn grass. And this grass which is bhramshan. Bhramshan means to deviate or to fall away, to fall off, bhramsha. So like so, which has fallen from his mouth, which is vivrita, which is open on account of exhaustion. So one more time. So this Kirna Vartma. So first thing we spotted Tingantam Padam. We got the subject Ayam Mrigaha. Okay. Then we finished up this part. Then we say this Mriga has an adjective Kirna Vartma. Kirna Vartman is a Bahuvri compound. Kirnam Vartma Yena Saha. One who has scattered the road, the path. Scattered with what now? With the Darbhaihi, with this Darbha grass, which has been half-chewn. And his grass which is falling off from his mouth, Mukha, which is open, Vivrita, on account of exhaustion. So Shramena Vivritam. Make it Titiya compound. Then Vivrita Mukha, make it Karmadharya compound. Then Mukhad. Yes, so Mukha plus Bhramsha make the same. Supya Jato Ninista Chilye. So that makes that compound. So we'll do all that, but let's get the basic meaning here. And then there is one more adjective, is Pravishtaha. He has entered. What has he entered? He has entered his Purvakayam. He has entered his forebody. The forepart, the front part of his body he has entered. Okay. Paschardhena. By the latter part of his body. He has as if entered the forepart of his body. Bhuyasa means he has almost completely like entered the latter part of his body into the forepart of his body. On account of what? Bhayat. On account of fear. Which is Sharapatana Bhayat. On account of the fear of the descent of the arrow, basically the shot of the arrow, he has kind of jammed the latter part of his body into the forepart of his body, almost completely. So Bhuyasa means for the large part, he has crammed his paschardhena. So with the latter part of his body, he has entered the forepart of his body because he's afraid of being shot by the arrow. And now, so we had Kirna Vartma adjective, we had the Pravishtaha. Now we have Baddha Drishtihi, straightforward Bhavri compound. Baddha Drishtihi Yena Saha. So one who has fixed his gaze. So here one thing, of course we'll do the grammar later, is Pumvad Bhavaha. Baddha Drishti becomes Baddha Drishti. Pumvad Bhavaha. Baddha Drishti Yena Saha. Syandane comes in Bhagavad Gita. Mahati Syandane Sitau. Madhavav Pandavaschaiva Divyo Shankapradatmatuho. So Shri Krishna Arjuna was sitting on the chariot. So Syandane is chariot. Rathe. So this deer, he has fixed his gaze on the chariot. So the chariot has an adjective to it. Anupatati. Anupatat. This is not Tingantam Padam. You'll be careful now. This Anupatati is not a Tingantam Padam. This is not the Tip Pratyaya. This is Shatru Pratyaya. Anupatat. So Anupatati is Subantam Padam. It's Saptamyantam. Saptami of Anupatat. So this deer has fixed his gaze on the chariot which is chasing. The chasing chariot. So Muhoho. So Muhoho is again and again. Comes in Bhagavad Gita. Always keep Gita please at the back of your mind. See, all these words come in the Gita. Like I just told you. Mahatis Chandane Sthitau, Madhavav Pandavaschaiva, Divyav Shanka Pradatmatuho, Panchajanyam Rishekeshaha. So here it is. Mahatis Chandane comes in Gita. And of course Bhagavad Gita at the very end, Muhur Muhoho, comes at the end of the Gita. Muhur Muhoho means again and again. Okay, again and again. So repeatedly, he is fixing his eyes on the chariot, which is chasing him. And then he's doing it in such a way, Griva Bhanga Abhiramam, in a delightful way, by Abhirama. Rama should delight. Abhirama is the delightful. Delightfully bending his neck. This is Kalidasa for you, right? So he is fixing his gaze repeatedly on the chasing chariot by delightfully bending, by delightful bend of his neck, bending his neck. So one more time is that, look, Pashya, look, again, Punar, even now the deer is moving, he's fixing his gaze on the chasing chariot repeatedly, but delightfully bending his neck. He is for the most part, he has crammed the latter part of his body into the forepart of his body, because he's afraid of the arrow shot, of the descent of the arrow. And he has scattered the path with this grass which he has half chewed, and which is dropping from his mouth, which is open because of exhaustion. And he's moving for the most part in the air and only a little bit on the ground because his jump is so high. That's the translation. Okay, and then okay, let's do that part first. Let's do some grammar here. Okay, again, we'll not do like all the steps in detail, but we'll give you enough to do it. So other will take too much time in the class. Anupatati is Saptami Ekavachanam of the Shatrana Pradipadikam Anupatat. Just like we did Dadat over here, be similar steps to that. Of course, Pata is in the Bhvadi Ganaha, so Kattari Shap will come, Only thing is here in Dadat we did the Shapluk by the we did the Shlu elision, Jyotyadibhya Shlu, but the steps will be similar. Only thing is that we'll get the Shap and then of course no Abhyasa. But otherwise the same thing. 123 Vartamane Lat Shatrishana Chaftama Samadhikarane, then we get the Atogune, and we'll get, so I've not put like all the steps over here, but basically it's 3 to 123, 124. Anupatat. So patat means which is anu is like following. So pat is to fall. Anupat is like to chase, fall down upon, chase upon. So anupatati, chasing. It's qualifying chandane. Now bhangaha, dhatu is bhanjo, which is amardane in the rudhadiganaha. And then add the pratyaya jai, which is in the sense of let's see, I think this is probably, I think it is, I don't want to change to 3380, I want to make it bhave. So it is the act of bending is a curve. Act which, or if you want to make it that which is bent, make it a curve, then you have to make it 3, 3, 18, 19. I think 18 itself is fine, but you know, you can, so because 18 is bhave, abstract noun. 19 is any other karaka except kartari, sanyaya, subhangaha. So I think 18, we just take 18 for now, subhangaha. So bhanja plus anubandha lope a, and then we get the kavarga adeshaha by chajoho ku ginyato, because pratyaya is a git. The chakara or jakara take the kavarga adeshaha. So this was 735. Chajoho ku ginyatoho. So the jakara takes the kavarga adesha, becomes gakaraha. Then of course we get naschavadantasya jali, then the parasavarnaha, nuswasi parasavarnaha. So bhanga is a curve. He's given that in the vocabulary here. Bhanga is a curve. So I put all these vocabulary words already in the document for us, a curve. So bhangaha. And grivayaha bhangaha, straightforward shashtitamasaha. Nothing special. Griva bhangaha. Then tena viramam. So on account of this neck bend, he's delightful on account of that. And that whole thing is an adverb. Yatha syat tatha. So let's see, it's an adverb to what? Because dvitiya ekavachanam, where do we put the dvitiya ekavachanam? Right? So he is, now to take it adverb to what? Which one should we take it adverb to? Because he is delightfully, you know. So now that is an adverb to baddha. So he has fixed his gaze on the child. How has he fixed? He has fixed in a delightful manner by the bend of his neck. So this whole thing, griva bhanga viramam. So griva yaha bhangaha, griva bhangena aviramam. Then yatha syat tatha, in that manner, in delightful manner, by bending his neck. So now you have to watch out for this, because this dvitiya to be wondering is an object of which verb? Which verb? It is not the object of anything. This is this vartikam. On I think 2418 is the vartikam. It says that kriya visheshananam. See, Pani does not talk about adverbs in the Ashtadhyayi, fully. I think he expects us to know that from the language, but there's a vartikam available to us from 2418. I think it's Avyabhavascha 2418. It says kriya visheshananam klivatvam. Klivatvam karmatvam cha ichyate, klivata ishyate, karmatvam cha. So basically these adverbs are used in the neuter, and they are used in the karmatvam. They get the dvitiya bhakti, karmani dvitiya. So this is the something which is delightful on account of bending of the neck, but that is adverbially qualifying baddha. Okay, so that is the thing here. And then baddha drishtir yena saha, only thing here, of course, aneka padarthe, and pumvad bhavaha. Striyaha pumvad. Bhashita pumsakadanung. Samanadikarane striyam. Apurani. What I'm saying? Apriya. I'm missing something here. So it is 6.3.34. 6.3. Striyaha pumvad bhashita pumsakadanung samadhikarane striyam apurani priyadishu. Priyadishu. Basically, if you want to make it just simple thing is that when you have a feminine which is an adjective, bhashita pumsaka means it should be has the same meaning in the masculine. So baddha an adjective, baddha can qualify masculine and feminine. So it's a bhashita pumsaka. It is the same. It can also be in the masculine the same meaning. Samadhikarane striyam. It's qualifying a feminine term which is drishti. So drishti is the feminine noun. It's been qualified by this baddha, this bahuvari compound. This samadhikarane will take the pumvad bhavaha. Bhashita pumvad, bhashita pumsaka. So pumvad means that basically the feminine affix stop, which was there, and that is now it's gone. It goes back to masculine form. So baddha drishtihi. Now I didn't put all the steps. The dhatu is band. So band is, if you look at the dhanteshu, I didn't put all those steps over here. If you want to take for homework, please. I haven't put like every single word in the document. So bandha, we need idagamaha. Sutram is 3.2.102 nishtha bhutarthe. So which has been bound. Bandha is bound. So in the dhanteshu, krudha, kshudha, buddhya, bandha. Then the second thing is that how about nakar lopaha? Nakar lopa is done by 6.4.24. 6.4.24 we get nakar lopaha by aniditam halupadayaha kiniti. Halupadayaha kiniti. So this bandha dhatu, this nakara is not to an idit. It's sakshat nakara in dhatu pataha. Then the penultimate nasal takes nakara, I should say. Nakara, not nasal. Nakara takes lopaha. Kiniti. So kiniti. So this is the sutram 6.4.24. We get the form baddha. So baddha drishtir yena saha. And then aparaschasa vardhascha. Paschardaha. Paschardaha is the latter half. Latter half. Then the word apara is specifically given by Paninihi in this sutram, which is 2.158. We just talked about today in the class this section of Karmadharya compounds, which goes from Karmadharya compound defined by Panini. By Panini over here in 1.2 Panini defined this. Again, this is all copy paste from previous classes. So here the Karmadharya compound is Tatpurushaha Samadhikarana Karmadharyaha. And the Samadhikaranaha, this Panini starts from 2.149 up to the end of 2.1. So if you want to get Naipunyam in Vyakaranam, you have to know the Ashtadhyayi map, at least reasonably well. So, Samadhikaranena. So this is the Karmadharya section, which of course is a subset of Tatpurusha section. Goes from 2.149 to end of 2.1, and in which we have of course discussed in the class in detail. And there comes the sutram Purva Para Prathama Charama Jaganya Samana Madhyama Virascha. Madhyama Virascha. So these all is common. Why do we need this sutram? Why can we not just use Visheshanam, Visheshena, Bahulam? The comment on that is that it is a Purnipata Niyamartham Idam. So means that apara, now it may be the adjective, but itself, so sometimes what is the adjective is a bit ambiguous. So Visheshanam, Bahulam, Visheshena Bahulam. That might get ambiguous in deciding which term should go first in the compound. So this sutra specifically mentions apara, so that apara will always go first in a Karmadharya compound. So there should be no ambiguity in regard to that. So whether the Visheshanatvam, it might be ambiguous, but doesn't matter. Apara will go first. Otherwise, we don't need this sutra really. We can use the Visheshanam, Eshyena Bahulam. But for Purnipata Niyamartham, Apara will go first. Anyway, so we get the Apara Ardha. And then what happens? Aparasya Ardhe is Vartikam. This Apara, which is followed by the Ardha in a compound, gets Pascha Adesha, Pascha Bhava. Become Pascha Ardha. The special Vartikam, Apara becomes Pascha and followed by Ardha. The next one is Sharasya Patanam, straightforward, Sharapatanam. And then Tasmad Bhayam, Sharapatana Bhayam. This Panchami Bhayena. This is a Panchami. These are both Tatpurusha compound. This is Shashti Tatpurushaha, Panchami Tatpurushaha. Is that Sharap? So this is a fear arising out of the shot of the arrow, descent of the arrow. Then Sharanapatana Bhayad. Again, on account of that. So this is a Panchami which can be used in the sense of Heto Vibhasha. Optionally by the Sutram 2325. Vibhasha Gune Striyam. So this is a Panchami Vibhakti Vidhayaka Sutram. So on account of the fear which is arising from the descent of the arrow. Okay. Then Bhuyasa is almost so Bhuyas. So Bhuyas means a lot. So by a lot, this is also an adverb. Is that the word Bhuyas Adhikatarena means mostly for the large part. For the last part, so he has for the most part he has crammed his latter half of his body into the first half of his body, the fore part of his body. Now this word Bhuyas we described before. If you want to please go back and look at your notes, 64158. This Bahu takes the Bhu, so Bahoho Parayor, this Imanicha Yasun or Lopaha. So here it is Yasun. So Bahutarena. So Bahutara is Bhuyas. So in case you become Bahu, when followed by Yasun, it takes the ikar of Yasun takes Lopaha. Because of the, because when you say Lopaha, normally you say Alontyasya, right? But it says Bahor Lopa, so Baho Paroho, so Adef Parasya. By Adef Parasya, we get the Lopaha of the beginning, Ikaraha, because following Bahu, Yasun takes Lopaha. Since it's following, so Panchama Nirdesha is being done. So rather than getting Alontyasya, we get Adef Parasya. Adef Parasya. So whenever you do any Adesha, always think of this Sutra Chatushtayam, Alontyasya, but then Nitya Adef Parasya. So following Bahu, Yasun means the beginning letter of Yasun, which is the Ikara, takes Lopaha, and then Bhucha Bahoho, and Bahu takes the Bhu Adesha, Anekashi Sarvasya. So basically when you have Bahu plus Yasun, the Yasun, the Ikaraha takes Lopaha, and we get the, so becomes only Yas. Instead of Yes, it becomes Yas. And simultaneously, the Bahu takes the Bhu Adesha. So we get Bhu Yas. Now, how about this one? Purvakaya. There's an interesting, very interesting thing going on here. Is that we have Paschardha, but then Purvakaya. In Paschardha, the Apara went, so okay, Paschardha, this is fine. So this is a Karmadharya compound. And now this is Purvakayam. The Purvakayam, why not Kayasya Purvam? Why Purvakayam? Right? So now this is what's called the Ekadeshi Samasaha. So these are similar compounds here, but this is the Ekadeshi Samasaha. It is the fore part of something. This was just a Karmadharya compound. Latter half. But this is fore part of the body. So Purvakayam. And if you form a Tatpurusha compound, it's Kayasya. Then by Sutram Shashti, the Kaya would have taken the Purnipataha. So, but this is the Ekadeshi Samasa which we have learnt. It says that Purva Paradharottaram Ekadeshinaikadhikarane. Purva Paradharottaram Ekadeshinaikadhikarane. So these words, Purva, Apara, Adhara and Uttara. Ekadeshina. So it should be a unit, a single unit, you're referring to a part of that unit. So the latter half, the upper half, the lower half. So this is thing. So it used to be one unit. So avayavina saha. So that which has these parts, upper part, lower part, which should be a single unit. Avayavin, one which has parts. That is the body. Skaya. Saha. Purvadaya. These words purva, apara, adhara, uttar. This is all a copy paste from the prior class. Okay, you can go and revise this. Samasyante ekatva sanya vishishtasched avayavi. So the avayavi should be a single unit having upper lower parts to it, like a body. It's not be like separate items. So shashti samas apavadaha. So purvam kayasya purvakayaha. So what happens is that this purva paradharottaram is prathama nidishtam now. So so prathama nidishtam samas upasajanam purvam. So otherwise, if you had formed, so this is the sutram here, of course, which we just looked at today also, prathama nidishtam. So this purva paradharottaram is prathama nidishtam. That will take the purnipata by upasajanam purvam, because upasajana sanya by this sutram, prathama nidishtam samas, upasajanam purvam by 2 to I think it's 30, right? 2 to 30 upasajanam purvam. Now, if you formed a shashti samas, would have a problem, because shashti would have been the prathama nidishtam then. Then the kaya would have taken the purnipata. Okay, so that is why with this ekadashi samasa is important. It's a shashti samasa apavadaha. So it is the four part of the body, but the body doesn't take the purnipata because it's the ekadashi samasa. Okay, and you can be done this in the class previously. So purva su kaya plus yes. So this purva su takes purnipata. So this is by sutram 221, not 228. And then supluk as usual to the samasa ashtapodhatu pradvidika yoho. And then of course we add this thing purvakaya. Then liha is to lick aswadane. And then just like we did in the previous class, we won't go through all the steps. We are running out of time also. We did the form rudha, right? In the last class we did the form rudha. So all the same steps, like we did rudha, same thing over here, lead. So roof becomes rudha, all the same steps. This lift becomes lead. So lift plus kta, it's also nudattupadeshaha in the hanteshu. Always keep this handy, please. Daha, diha, duha, naha, miha, ruha, liha. Nudattupadesha. So idagama is stopped. Same sutram, nishtha sutram. Anubandha lopaha, lashukata dite. Idagama is stopped by ekacha upadesha nudattat. And then because it's the kit pratyaha, kri teacher stops the ugantala gupatasya. Then we get hodhaha, jalipadante. Then we get jashastatordhodhaha, takara becomes takara. All the same steps as rudha. Shunashtuho, and then vachana samrathya, dhode lopaha. Then jalope purusya dirghonaha, leadha. Ardham avalidhai. In ardham is an adverb. Now pani does not really give adverbial compounds. So we have to either use, which also we see in the class previously, we have to make some adjustment now. So we can either put in this class Mayura Vyamasaka, the miscellaneous Tatpurusha compound, one way out, or we can use this 214 Sahasupa, also miscellaneous compound. So miscellaneous compound by Sahasupa or miscellaneous compound by 2172 Mayura Vyamasaka, because adverbial compounds point doesn't really have. So Ardham Avalidai, so half tune. Then Shamena Vivrutam, straightforward Titiya compound Tatpurushaha, once you form a Tatpurusha compound, it becomes a part of a bigger compound. You can collapse that bracket into the Uttarapadam. Tatpurusha compound Uttarapadhanaha. So when you form Tatpurusha, don't carry the baggage with you to form the bigger compound. So when you say Shamena Vivrutam, now Shamena you already accounted for this now. So you can just say Vivrutam now. Tatpurusha compound has a Pradhanyam Uttarapadam. I know time is up. Give me 5 minutes, please. Let me try to finish this verse. I don't want to repeat the whole thing in the next class again. So if you can give me 5 minutes, I'll try to finish it. Shama Vivrutam Chatan Mukham. So Vivrutam Mukham. This is a simple Karmadharya compound now. So Shama is accounted for in the Tritiya compound, Tat Purusha compound. So we have Vivrutam. Vivrutam Mukham is open mouth. So it is straight Visheshanam Visheshanam. Bahulam is an adjective to Mukham. And then we form the same way we did the Mrugasarin. The same thing we did. All these steps over here, Mruga, Nusarin, these steps we did. This Supya Jaturinistachilye, all the same steps. See, Mrugam was Dvitiyantam, but it doesn't have to be Dvitiyantam. This is Supi. So the Upapadam can be any sup. So here we have Vivrita Mukhad, which are dropping from the open mouth. So from the mouth. That is the Upapadam. So Shama Vivrita Mukha Nyasi, Panchamyantam, Dhatu Brahmsha plus Nini, all the same step becomes Brahmshin. So the same steps like Mruganusarin, Shama Vivrita. So Shama Vivrita, you don't have to carry this anymore. Just say Mukha Brahmshin. So Mukhat, let's see Dhatu Brahmsha. I think this is, which Gana is this Dhatu? Brahmsha. I think this is in the Divadi Ganaha. I think Brashyanti is Mrugan Brahmshin, Brahmshinaha. This is called Darbha. This is disqualifying the grass, which is dropping from the mouth, constantly dropping from the mouth. Tatchila, which is dropping constantly from the mouth. So Brahmsha, Dhatu is Brahmsha. Let me see if we can. Brahmsha, Divadiganaha. So Brashyati. Because here again we get the Nakar Lopaha by 6-4-24. Anilitam Halopada Kiniti. Because the Ganavikarana Hasyan will be Sarvatikam Apit Nitvat. So Brashyati. So this is I'm sorry, it is Atmanipad. No, it is Prasipadam. Yeah, Prasipadi. So Brashyati. So Brashyanti, Tachila, Darbaha. So they are constantly falling from the mouth. So the same sutram basically, Supya Jatur Nistachilye. This is the one which we used. Okay. Then Kirna. So Kru Vikshepe is to scatter, Vikshepe, to throw around, to scatter, to spread around. Same pratyaha by the Sutram Nishtha, Taktavatu Nishtha, so scattered. But here what happens is that this Udrudantai, this is actually a said dhatu. It's not Anudhatu Padesha. But then we have Shukashkiti. Shukashkiti. So if you have the dhatu Shri or Uganta dhatu, followed by Kit pratyaha, it doesn't allow Idagama. Shukashkiti. So this also we have done in the class. It's slightly not used that often, but Shukashkiti, but 7 is in Nishedha. Because we normally used to using 7 to 10. Ekach Vachanadatat, but Shukashkiti. That also say Shri, Dhatu Shri or Uk. So here we have Kru ending in a Uk because Iyon, Iyon Rulruk, right? So U-Ru-Ru and so Kru. So Shukashkiti stops Idagamaha. It's Kit Pratyaya, so no Kriticha stops the Gunadeshaha, which would have been done by Sarvatikaratika Yoho. Now Rute Dhatoho. Once Gunadesha is stopped, then we can apply Rute Dhatoho. The Rukara for Dhatu takes the Ikara Adesha. But that has to first wait to make sure Gunadesha is stopped. Guna is Parakarya. Gunadesha comes, then we don't like a form like Kirati. The Gunadesha will overrule that because it's Parakarya. So first we have to check Gunadesha is stopped, then only we can do this Rute Dhatoho Urandra Paraha. Kir, then we get Radabhyam Nishthato Naha Urvasashadaha. Dhatu ending in the Refa or Dakaraha. Following that, the Nishtha Takara becomes Nakaraha. Kirna, then Halicha. Refa or Vakaranta Dhatu followed by this Hal takes the Upada Dirgha. So this is Anuji's favorite sutram. This is the 7. So Vorupadhaya Dirgha Ikaha. Then so the Ik Upadha Ik takes Dirgha Halicha, becomes Kir Na, and then finally of course the Natvam by the no. See, this is directly by the sutram Rashabhyam no Nasamana Pade. So that is by 841. We don't need the Vartikam here because there's nothing intervening between the Nakara and the Refa. nothing into. So we directly use the sutram. Darshabhyam no nissamana pades becomes kirna adjective. So kirnam vartmayena yasya, one whose path or one by whom the path has been scattered. Kirna vartma. Darbaihi kirna vartma. Now the thing is that this darba should be in the compound, shouldn't it? Darba kirna vartma. But darba is standing outside. So also we studied in the class before is that sakshepatve api gamakatva samasaha. In Bhagavad Gita we have this famous example is that in chapter 1 Bhishmadona Pramukhataha Sarveshancha Mahikshitam Uvacha Partha Pashyaitan Samavetan Kuroniti Tatra Pashyasitan Partha Samavetan Kuroniti. So he says Bhishmadona Pramukhataha in front of Bhishma and Drona. Then Sarveshancha Mahikshitam is Shashtiyantam connecting with what? Pramukhataha. But Pramukhata is inside the compound. How do we take it outside now? But sometimes the term sitting outside the compound can connect with term inside a compound when the connection is obvious. What's called gamakatvat. When the connection is obvious, gamaka means it leads you to that. Then sapeksha, there's an apeksha between these two, darba and kirna, darbaihi kirna. But still darba is sitting outside because this gamakatva. So sometimes in a compound, sometimes we should be inside the compound. It has a logical connection. It's a dependency with the term inside the compound. But it still sit outside. It's very obvious because it's obvious. So darba should connect with kirna because he has scattered the path with this grass, but the grass sitting outside. Gamakatva. So this is the sentence given. Sapekshatvapi gamakatva samasa. Okay. This is quite common in the language. You should get used to that. Udagram. Udgatam agram yasya. Udagram means one whose tip is raised. Means basically high. High. Plutam. High or drawn out. The same thing like vidhava we just did in the class today. So udgatam so is gata like vigata dhavaha yasya. So same thing. Udagram, this gata is dropped. The same vartikam pradibhyo dhatu jasya vacho vachottavar lopaha. Udagram plutam is this. Actually, I should put the high over here. Sorry, Udagram is high. In this case, is qualifying the plutam. Bahuri compound is an adjective always, isn't it? So Udagram plutam yasya. So one whose jumps are high. So in Udagra plutasya bhavaha, on account of thatness, Udagra plutatvam. So because that deer has the property of having high jumps, so tasya bhavastvatalav, add the pratyatva and then make it tasmat. Same sutam heta upanchami. So on account of having the property of having high jumps, that is Udagra plutat. This is a very common combination, by the way. Add the pratyat, the spashtatvat, atiklishtatvat. So this tvat. So basically add the tva by tasya bhavastvatalav and then put the panchami in heta on top of that on account of thatness. Is a very common term. And then viyat means sky, viyati is saptami. This is all from the vocabulary. Stoka means little. Stoka means again adverb. Stokam prayati. He's going little, so it's an adverb to the going. And urvi is earth. We talked about that. Okay. I'm sorry for the delay today in the class, but I want to finish this. I didn't want to leave it halfway. So let me lead you this translation and we'll stop with that. So let us see. Translation. What does Munir Williams say? Says that, okay. Says, there he is now. Okay. So he is, I think, ayam. Ayam, this one. Now is idanim. Idanim. Ayam idanim. Punarapi. Gracefully, I think, abhiramam. By the bending of his neck. So grivayaha bhangyena abhiramam. So grace abhiramam is an adverb to baddha. So gracefully by the bending of his neck, fixing his glance. So baddha drishtiyena saha. Fixing his glance ever and anon means over and over again. Muhu, muhu, muhu. At the chariot. Sandane on the chariot, fixing is that. In English at the chariot, which pursues him. Anupatati Sandane. So fixing his glance on the chariot which is chasing him. Again and again by gracefully by bending his neck. Okay. The hinder half of his body, paschardhena, repeatedly drawing himself by the hinder part of his body, hinder half, paschardhena, repeatedly drawing himself into the forepart. So purva kayam drawing pravishta, entered, drawing himself into the forepart. Repeatedly saying, so he's taking bhuyasas repeatedly, by the way. So bhuyas can also be, in Bhagavad Gita comes in 2 chapters, the beginning of 2 chapters. Bhuya eva mahabaho shrume paramvacha. Again, so this is Bhagavan Vacha. Bhuya eva mahabaho shrume. So again, so it can be in excessive, or it can also mean again, Bhuya eva. And so chapter 14, I think chapters in the first sloka of chapter 10 and chapter, I think, 14 comes Param Bhuya Pravakshami. So Bhuya. So in this translation of Moner Williams, he has taken it as repeatedly drawing himself, while we took it as for the more excessively or for the most part. So this could be another interpretation. Repeatedly he is drawing himself. So we took it as, what did we take it as? We took it as, I think, adhikatarenam, almost. If you look at the vocabulary, even in our book, he says almost somewhere here, almost. This book says repeatedly drawing himself as pravishtaha into the forepart is the purvakayam. That is the ekadeshi samasaha. Purvakayam by 2 to 1. Through the fear is bhayat of the descent of the arrow, sharapatana bhayat, strewing the road with grass. So darbai is with the grass, should be inside the compound. Kirna is strewn, so one who has strewn the path with grass. Half chewed, ardhavalidaihi. This is this miscellaneous compound. Ardham is qualifying, is an adverb to lead. Half chewed, with the drops from his mouth. Which drops from his mouth? So that's Bhramshin. This is the Upapada Samasaha, Mukha Bhramshin. So which is dropping constantly from his mouth, Mukhad Brashyanti Tachilaha Darbhaha, which is constantly dropping from his mouth, kept open, Vibrita, from exhaustion. So Shamena Vibrita Titya compound, open on account of exhaustion. That qualifies Mukham, Vibrita Mukham. And then Mukhad Brashyanti Tachilaha Darbhaha. So that is the compound. C is Pashya. By reason of istvat, on account of having the property of, that is his lofty boundings. So udagra plutatvat. He springs, I think prayati, springs forward, that's prayati, springs forward, prayati. Chiefly in the air is bahutaram. See, even interesting, isn't it? Because we have bahutaram and bhuyas. I didn't notice that. We could put, so bahutara is bhuya and bahutara, bhuyas and bahutara are interchangeable words, because we just saw this sutram. I'm sorry, time is up, I know that. We just saw this sutram over here where we get the bahutara, this bahu became bhu, and the yasun got the lopaha. So there's another interesting little trick going on here. Is bahutara and bhuyas, same thing. So he says that he is springing forward chiefly, that is the bahutara. Bahutaram, adverb. In the air. So that's viyati, akashe. Little on the ground. That's stokam urvyam. Okay. So let us stop with that. Again, excuse me for the delay. Next time we'll start with this one. Savismayam tadesha. These were the 2 difficult verses, by the way. This is there's one more difficult verse coming, but basically in this remaining part it's not that much so difficult. This was a difficult two verses that we had, particularly this one. Okay, let's stop it today. Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Vijay Ramena Vihata Nishachara Chamu Rama Samanama Rama Nasi Paranam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rameshittale Sada Bhutame Bho Rama Mudhara Rama Rameti Rameti Rame Rame Manurame Swasanamatatulyam Ramanama Varanane Shri Ramanama Varanana